So what I'm going to do is, first of all, show you how you can play a blues using this one shape, right? So I'm going to play kind of a basic 8-bar blues, just like this. Alright, so here's the shape. It's this little shape here. And it's this little magic shape here. It's this little 3-finger kind of shape. And it's one of the most useful shapes on the guitar because it's this kind of infinitely slidable shape that can become all kinds of different chords. So there's 2 variations I'm going to show you. One is basically where you play the root here. And then it's the same shape, but you move the 2nd finger over 1 string like this. Okay, so those are the 2 shapes we're gonna work with, just this and this. So let me show you, for example, if I'm playing in the key of A, just playing an A7 chord, you can play an A7 chord like this, and then you can play it like this, and then if you play it here like this, it's the same shape, but this time I'm on the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd strings. That's actually an A9 chord right there. And if you slide up 2 frets, it becomes an A6 or an A13 chord. And then if I go up here, that's an A7 chord as well. So you've got this. But wait, it gets even better than that. Watch this as well. If I add in a few little other steps like this, if I go up a half step like this and play this shape here, the tritone shape here, and then use the other shape, that becomes like an A7 flat 9 chord, which is a really useful chord in blues and jazz and stuff. It's also, you could also interpret it as a diminished chord. Diminished chords repeat every 3 frets, so you can just, it's actually the same chord, so you can move that chord around like this. So you add that into the mix, and you've got A7, A7 flat 9 here as well, and then here's another A7, you've got your 9th chord, the 13th chord, and then right here, what's cool right here, this little shape here, you can use the turnaround, classic blues turnaround, the Robert Johnson turnaround, and then if you move it right down here, that's that same chord again, that A7 flat 9, but an octave higher. So you've got A7, A7 flat 9, and then A7 up here, A9, A13, and then you've got your little turnaround, and then ending on A7 flat 9, and then back to the root. So you can have all kinds of fun. You can kind of play around with that shape. Now, imagine you can do that just on the A chord. What's going to happen when you go to the D chord? You can do exactly the same thing. And you can do the same thing on the E chord as well. Alright, so let me break down this kind of blues. So I'm going to start here. So there's your basic E7. Slide it around. And then I'm going to go up to E9 up here. So this is based around this shape here, which is the T-bone 9th chord. I'm just taking that 3rd out, so it's just that same shape right here, and you can slide it up and down 2 frets. So that's an E9 up to an E6. Okay, so you got. Then I'm going to go to an A, so it's the A chord here, but I'm going to play the A9 based on that T-bone A 9th chord like this. But I'm just going to play it again. I'm just going to use this shape here. So there's the root. You can put the root in with your thumb if you want. Slide, so it's that same shape. And then I'm going to go to the A7 right here. And then I'm going to go to that A7 flat 9, or the diminished chord. And then I'm going to play 6-2-5-1 progression, which is common in blues and jazz, and it's a really great little kind of turnaround. So playing the E7 there. Now these basically what I'm doing is here, a lot of times when you play these 6-2-5-1s, you'd go the 1, the 6, and then the 2, and then the 5. You have those pretty sounding chords, right? The jazzy sounding chords. But in blues and in jazz, you can play these dominant chords. You play the same idea, but so it's got kind of a meaner sound because it's using those 7th chords. And then what I'm going to do is just do a little walk up. So you got the 6 down here, which is C sharp, up to the 2, which is F sharp, and the 5, which is B7. And I'm just doing chromatic walk ups and walk downs there, and they always work to walk up or walk down chromatically to the root of the chord. And then I'm going to do the final turnaround here, where I'm just going to do a chromatic turnaround, which is going to sound like this. So all that is the 1, the E7, and then I'm walking down here to this 7 flat 9 shape, and then going up to an A9, and then an A7 flat 9, and then back to the 1, and then and again this is, you can interpret these chords as different shapes. So you could think of this as a B7 with an F sharp in the bass, or you could think of it as a F sharp diminished, or you could think of it as a F7 flat 9. So there's lots of different ways to interpret that, which is pretty cool. With those kind of turnarounds, you kind of have to work them out because they're so fast. It's like one chord on each beat, you know. But there's all kinds of little chromatic turnarounds you can do like that. So basically the whole time you're using this little magic shape here, and you can change the bass note a little bit here back and forth. But basically so it's a really magical thing, you know, when you start thinking just about how this little shape can be an E7, it can be an E9, it can be an E6, it can be an E7 down here, it can be the turnarounds, or it can be an E flat 9 up here, E7 flat 9, and then basically you can just kind of move your root back and forth like this.